Kia ora, and welcome to Thursday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz. And today we lead with news. There's a general relief rally underway as the US indicates it's pulling back from its aggressive tactics with Iran. Trump seems to be declaring victory, but the Iranians seem to have given up nothing he sought. The Iranians are letting non-combatant ships pass through the Straits of Hormuz on their terms and schedule. They're also continuing active attacks on their foes. Even if it is over, the echo of sharply higher inflation will linger. Yes, oil prices have pulled back, but they remain more than 50% higher than at the start of Trump's crazy adventure. Benchmark interest rates are higher too. Wall Street is down a net 5% even after today's rally. 1,500 civilians were killed in Iran in these attacks, 18,500 injured. The US seems to have revealed it is relatively impotent to impose its will, even with apparent overwhelming force, certainly when applied incompetently. Meanwhile, US mortgage applications fell sharply for a second week due to mortgage interest rates rising to a 5-month high. Refinance activity was hit particularly hard, but even if it wasn't the case, there was a notable retreat for new purchases too. That is 2 consecutive weeks of 10% reductions, and it is the sharpest 2-week retreat since December 2024. US crude stocks rose again last week in their 5th consecutive weekly rise, the longest stretch since early 2024. Meanwhile, petrol inventories fell for a 6th consecutive week. This allowed pressure on US pump prices to rise 34% in a month. So they have the odd combination of plenty of crude stocks and sharply rising energy inflation, grifting at its best. In an item we don't usually report on, a jury in New Mexico has found both Meta and YouTube liable in a first-of-its-kind lawsuit that aimed to hold social media platforms responsible for addiction harm to children using their services. They awarded $3 million in damages. Yesterday, we noted the sharp rise in yields in the US Treasury 2-year note auction. Today, there was a similar one for the 5-year equivalent, and it too brought a dramatically higher yield, 3.92%, up from 3.56% at the prior equivalent event a month ago. Demand was less for this one too, but not as dramatically as for the 2-year. In China, we should note that after a 21-day suspension, state-owned shipping line COSCO is taking bookings for China to Middle East destinations again. In Germany, their widely watched IFO Business Climate Index dropped in March to its weakest reading since February 2025, as the Middle East conflict dampened economic sentiment there. In Australia, February CPI inflation was reported at 3.7%, a marginal dip from 3.8% in January. Most subcategories dipped, except for the housing category, which rose at a 7.2% rate. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.33%, down 8 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the price of gold will start today up $132 at $4,556 an ounce. Silver is up $3 at $72.50 an ounce. American oil prices are down $2.50 at just on $90 a barrel, while the international Brent price is down $3 at $101 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is unchanged against the US dollar from yesterday, still at 58.2 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're up 10 basis points at 83.6 Australian cents. We're up 20 basis points against the yen. Against the euro, we're 10 basis points firmer at 50.3 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today up 10 basis points at just on 62. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $71,453 and up 2.7% from yesterday at this time. Volatility of the past 24 hours has been moderate at just under plus or minus 2.3%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. We'll do this again tomorrow.